Introducing Instagram Teen Accounts, a new way to keep your teens safer as they grow, like making sure they've got the right gear for riding.
Knee pads.
Check.
And helmet?
Done. See you, Dad.
New Instagram Teen Accounts, automatic protections for who can contact your teen and the content they can see.
Optimize your nutrition this year with Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved, ready to eat in just 2 minutes. Choose from 40 weekly options across 8 dietary preferences, like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Eat smarter at factormeals.com/listen50 and use code LISTEN50 for 50% off, plus free shipping on your first box. Factormeals.com/listen50, code LISTEN50.
Is this show on YouTube?
It not live, but it does appear later on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
Pat, do you know that every single horse in the Kentucky Derby descended from Secretariat?
I don't know how that worked.
Well, more than one person has told me that.
They were all.
I haven't verified that.
In fact,
Secretariat himself was not didn't do very well as a stud. He was happy to do it. He was very willing.
Very
willing.
What else was he going to do?
In fact,
they said they have to tease many of them.
Yeah.
All you had to do with him is point him at the
right
barn.
there.
There it was. Yeah. It's in there. Okay, and then when he got done, he gave him I got this from the horse's mouth, so to speak. He gave him a little love bite on the neck. When he was
boy.
He was a gentleman. He was a sensitive lover.
Yep.
And
that's good.
He was also so proud of his equipment,
right,
that he would run over to the fence and show it to you. That was great.
Well, then it's no wonder that
he's
every 20,000 horses were sired by this.
But
now that doesn't mean he sired.
No,
it,
no, that means mom.
Got met with him.
Dad's dad.
Yeah, they met in the bar, and then they.
Yeah, but he was a fan. I saw him twice at the farm. Once in '85 when we were going to open the track here, and then I took manager.
Please tell that story.
I took manager Tom Kelly there in '92.
Yeah,
he's managing the in Cincinnati. It was '88.
Okay,
his Laud was on the team. So I said, hey, he's at BP on Monday, and I said. You want to go down and see Secretariat? It's only like an hour and 15 minutes from here, early in the morning. I said, I'll call the guy down there. And he said, yeah, let's go. So I picked him up at 6 in the morning. We went down there. He loved it, man, because they had 3.
It was beautiful countryside.
They had 3 Paris, Kentucky. They had 3 Kentucky Derby winners there, and Secretariat. And he got a shoe. He didn't get a shoe from Secretariat, but one of the other horses, the Derby winners, was being shoed that day. So they gave each of us one of the shoes. But we were there, and what the hell's the guy's name? The guy who ran it, he loved to talk baseball, and all Kelly wanted to do was talk
horse racing.
Horse racing. Mm-hmm. But we came back, and we got back about 12:30, and there was like people from ABC and everybody outside looking, waiting, wondering where Kelly was. They were all upset that he went there. He went to, instead of doing these sit-down 2 hours of interviews, he was, the TV interviews, he was down in Paris, Kentucky. So it was, but his heritage is, it goes back unbelievable. Now, where did that gray one? There was 2 or 3 gray ones in there. Where did they come from? Secretariat had no gray in him.
I got to read you something.
Maybe Ma did.
Maybe Ma's mom.
Mom's mom, yeah.
I got to read you something if I find it. Keep talking.
Well, I know that's true because I recorded it, the race and all the preamble, because she likes to watch that. And they did have the part that I tuned in on was someone doing a story about the fact that Secretariat was
the greatest horse ever. Who might have been the second?
Barbaro?
Sham, which finished second to Secretariat in all 3 races.
Oh, sure.
And gave him a hell of a race in Preakness, was it? He came close, but then in the Belmont, Sham said, Okay, that was a 4-horse race.
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted anything to do with him, and that's the one he won by 30-some lengths.
Pat, we were down there 4th of July week of 2021, I believe. We went to Louisville and that whole area. And we walked up to Churchill Downs, and the big statue they have of Barbaro, the life-size version of it, it's just incredible how big these animals are.
I'm going to read you the best sports quote that replaces my favorite sport quote has always been Hank Aaron after he beat Babe Ruth. Said, "I didn't know my mom could hug that tight."
Yes, that's a pretty
That's
damn good
one
quote.
of my. Well, here's my second.
Who used it? Most of the writers probably ignored it. Who used it?
Well, I'm
Red
sure it was
Smith
Dave
or something?
Anderson or Red Smith or
right.
somebody. I'm reading from a compilation of the horse names. Secretariat was an American thoroughbred that in 1973 became the first U.S. Triple Crown winner in 25 years. His records in the Derby, the Preakness Stakes, and the Belmont Stakes still stand.
Never have been broken. Yeah.
Wow.
After Secretariat was stricken with a painful infection and euthanized in 1989, an autopsy revealed that he had an unusually big heart. Sports writer Red Smith once asked his trainer how Secretariat had run that morning. Charlie Hutton replied, "The trees swayed."
That's pretty
Isn't that?
Yeah.
Can you? I don't care if Red made that up.
Well, the old horse racing guys.
God,
I don't think Red made them up. But
the trees swayed.
The old horse racing guys, they knew all the newspaper people, and they were, literate. And this guy saved his best quote for that.
What a line! What an image that creates.
Yeah, well, once in a while, I'll go on YouTube and watch the Belmont again when they start trying to estimate how many lengths he's had as these poor devil. Because, most of the time when a horse is going to win by forever, they kind of ease up on him. But he'd already set the records for the Derby and the Preakness, so they wanted to have the record for the other one. But that's the most phenomenal sports happening of all time. What was the Ron Turcotte, right? Didn't he fall off and get paralyzed? I think.
Do you remember a winner back in the we weren't alive, but there was a horse called Comanche.
I didn't know
that was
one.
it. It was attached to General Custer's detachment of the 7th Cavalry when it engaged the Lakota. Anyway, Comanche stuffed. It's in the Natural History Museum of the University of Kansas.
I got here's what's amazing, fellas. That was the 151st running of the Kentucky Derby. 151 years.
Wow.
My God, what's that make it? 1875?
But is it as important now as it once
God,
was?
no.
What
No.
happened?
Well,
They still get
they
thousands
get the
and
people
thousands
there
of
to
people.
drink and party.
It's a
and-
great personal event. To be
Yes,
there is
yes.
amazing, but
I don't know. They were pretty. When the celebrities they were showing, one of the celebrities they were showing with was Warren Moon. So that's
that shows you.
that shows you you're not getting the A game anymore.
was Warren by
Nothing
himself?
wrong with Warren Moon,
No.
but Warren Moon.
One problem I have with that, I think Stephen Foster was kind of lazy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty mediocre song. My Old Kentucky Home.
it's not that-
It's got about 3 sentences in
Yeah.
it. It doesn't take. Takes a. They all say, "And now with my Old Kentucky Home," and they get a choir from the University of Louisville, and they don't really belt it out, and it's over in like 50 seconds.
Oddly enough, I'm glad you mentioned Warren Moon because I have a Warren Moon related question for you.
Okay.
So, what's his name? Cam, the quarterback, the Ward kid.
Newton?
No, the Ward, the first overall pick by the
Cam
Titans.
Ward, yes.
Cam Ward. He had to ask Warren Moon's permission to wear number 1. Warren Moon played for the Oilers, not the Titans. I know it's the same franchise,
Yeah,
but
yes.
that's the rule?
I don't think they retired it.
But you get to keep it when you change
Well, when they
cities and you
retire
change.
the number, you don't use it.
Right,
But
okay.
the organization took the retired numbers with them, right? Earl Campbell and those.
I guess I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, but Warren said okay.
Well, Warren said, "Go ahead." Yeah.
Yep. Just don't order a vehicle and have it sent to the wrong house.
Here, write this down, Pat.
That's what he told him. That's what he told him.
If I haven't recommended this to you before,
Yes.
I'd get a pencil and paper.
Yes,
you
sir.
can't forget this. You got to read Horse. It's a novel.
Really?
Geraldine Brooks.
Okay.
And it is wonderful. It will also be one of the finest
Is it about
Civil War explanations you've ever seen.
Okay.
Horse
So
is
this
a
is
read
about a horse surviving the Civil War?
based on the remarkably true story of the record-breaking thoroughbred named Lexington. The novel switches between time periods and characters to tell the story. It is a marvel. I can't recommend it highly enough.
So the Derby,
He didn't write it down.
Derby.
I did for him. He doesn't have a pen.
Horse
Derby.
by Geraldine Brooks.
The Derby didn't start that many years after the Civil War,
Right,
for
right.
God's sake.
This tells you a lot about the early days of the fascination with horses and racing, and it's just wonderful,
That's
just wonderful.
well, it's but I will say the highlight of the Kentucky Derby for me was when I was on Saturday morning sports talk. The one time I was there in the morning and talked about how Bobby and I had dinner together,
That's right.
as we always do when we're at the Derby, and you, being very sharp, went right with the whole thing, and finally said, "Did he mention Sid at all?" And I said, "No, I really got the impression that relationship was overrated."
That's a myth.
And the next morning, I heard this from people. I wasn't home, obviously. He came on and did a whole tirade about how Ricey doesn't even know Bobby Knight, and nobody listening.
I'm glad
nobody
Sid
listening,
was faithfully listening to
nobody
Saturday Sports
listening to
Talk.
CCO had any idea what the hell he was talking about.
It's like Jesse with Garage Logic.
Yeah, he doesn't listen, but you tell Sue Charade.
Hey, Rook.
Yeah, right.
I didn't hear it, but tell Joe.
Yes. Yeah, that was the one with the Rook when I was, when the day of the election. You think he's going to get 22%.
Why
of the vote.
30 or 40 years ago did everybody have a name of a horse they liked? And
Oh, God.
they paid
well,
attention. and
society has changed so much. I mean, it's
Well,
horse video. I mean, it's a big basketball is extremely popular, even though the full TV ratings aren't as good because the youth of America watches basketball videos of.
Yep.
They love Ant because they've watched video 50 times of him dunking. You know. And
why is Popovich held in contempt for ruining the NBA brand? Have you ever heard that theory?
No, I mean
Other than a commie, I mean he's
he's very left wing.
yeah, but he
Very rich left wing, by the way.
yeah. Most of the ones who are, I've never heard him say anything that would cause me to think the brand has been.
I don't think it. I haven't seen that, but maybe in the. I don't know. Maybe with the MAGA folks, it is. I don't know. I don't.
But
think
he's
the brand-
retired now.
Finally, yeah. He last year had a stroke in November, and they always said a minor stroke, but he didn't.
I don't think he came back.
He didn't come back
Yeah.
the whole season. So
This might have been the turning point, Joe.
Okay, thank you.
Remember that? Ratto was sitting at the
What was
press
his question?
conference.
What was his question?
He asked Popovich about playing time or somebody's playing time, and Popovich lit him up, down, sideways for 30 straight seconds, and Ray responded with, "Okay, thank you."
The rat.
It
You
was
can't
the
get
best response ever.
You can't get the rat. You can't corner the rat, man.
I should find that whole thing.
So would you rather the Timberwolves play Golden State, or would you have preferred Houston?
No, Golden State.
I think win-wise, Houston would have been a better chance. But Golden State is like, if I got 2 tickets and want to sell them, I'm going to get twice as much.
Oh, yeah.
For Golden State than I would
Because of Curry.
Well, Curry and Butler and
I hope Butler
Draymond,
falls on his
Draymond Green, who's the biggest thug in basketball and spent all last year bad-mouthing Rudy Gobert, and also once had a fight with Rudy, right?
Yep, in Golden State.
Yeah. So,
Plus, the thing I think that the Wolves got going for them is they haven't played in a week. And Golden
They've
State.
had some rest.
Yeah,
They've had some, but then again, they haven't played in a week, so
I think Golden State's going to be wore out in that
they're
first
coming
game.
out of. They're coming. Our boys are coming off 7 for 47. Though
That is true.
I wouldn't say
That is true.
I wouldn't say you want to bring that performance back into a game against Golden State. You
Plus, we
lose
get
by
another
25.
lousy start time. It's not that bad. 8:30. It's okay.
8:54 last
think
time
so?
we had an 8:30.
Yeah,
start.
that's what it'll be.
8:54.
Yeah.
Because I was writing that night, and
You were angry.
as each minute went by, a new adjective was used to describe the delay. Extended, more. There
Extended,
were mothers and
yeah,
fathers
yeah.
and stuff were in it, and it'll be that way again. TV, not only does TV not care about us poor scribes, but the NBA doesn't either. They could care less.
God, Barkley had a great meltdown. I'm trying to find it, but somebody. This was maybe 2 or 3 days ago. I can't remember the exact day, but somebody.
Barkley guaranteed a Houston win last night.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Well, somebody had mentioned Luka. Barkley goes, "The Lakers are done. Who give a damn? You know, like, why are we talking about them? Their season's over." It was such a great line. I'm trying to find
This
it.
day they have more depth. You know, the guy who frightens me, Buddy Hield, because everybody they're going to guard Butler. Butler could. I'm going to stand 5 feet away from Butler and let him take every three he wants to take. He'll shoot 28%.
Yeah.
But if you use a lot of your defensive ability on Butler, and then you got to use it on Steph. And, you know, they got other guys. They're going to, if they let Buddy Hield get open, that guy's a great 3-point shooter.
Didn't we wanted him, didn't we, when we were still on the radio?
Oh, yeah.
Out of college.
But that was a Tibbs draft.
Oh, yeah.
He took Chris Dunn for his defensive toughness, and Hield was the next pick to New Orleans.
Did they have the 5th or something like that?
He had the 5th, and Hield was the 6th. So, yeah, he can shoot, man. He can. But this will be fun. This will be.
Are you going to make a prognostication?
Don't do it.
No,
Well, we want them to, so people can get their act together.
I want to see. I want to see game one. That's a cop out, but I don't. I got to see who's guarding who and all that kind of crap. Who's McDaniel's going to guard?
You're not picking the Wolves to win the NBA title.
Oh God, no! Oklahoma City will beat them in 5.
Okay,
There we go.
I'm going
Now
with
we
the
got a
Timberwolves.
chance.
The Timberwolves got a chance.
If they advance,
So you're telling me there's a
if they
chance.
advance, Oklahoma City will beat them in 5.
Yeah, OKC's pretty dang good.
Oklahoma City's good. Yes.
Reddick said Timberwolves got the best 8 players in the league. Best 8
I
players
said
he's got.
I said this early this morning.
So what do I know?
I said this early this morning. When you see Reddick do an interview, you know what you do? If you knew nothing about his background, you point at the screen and say, "He's from Duke. He's a smug jackass from Duke. I can tell. He's a Dookie. He's a Dookie. I don't have to know anything about him. He's a smug SOB from Duke."
Yeah.
Isn't that the line? How do you know someone's from Duke? Just ask him. One of those deals.
Yes, or he'll tell you.
Or he'll tell
before
you.
have to
That's it.
ask
That's
him.
the line.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The great John Feinstein. I like John Feinstein, but he'd tell you he's from Duke about every 4 minutes.
Yeah.
He worshipped Krzyzewski, so
Pat, golf has a problem.
Scotty Scheffler. The courses aren't good enough.
Scheffler's too good.
Well, the problem is the golf courses. If you don't,
He might as well have played in the Highland 9-hole.
if you don't play a golf course where you get the greens to 14 and you got the fairways down to the size of this room, they're just gonna kill you. And 253. What is it?
He tied the record for lowest score of a PGA.
And it was 31 under. Was it a par 71?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, but he had no. He hit. Here's the problem. I watched for 10 minutes. I saw him hit one in the woods, right? Hit it over in the thick grass, and he just hit it over a tree from like 110 or something. He was still only like 110 yards away on a par 4 because he hit it dead left, and he just popped it over the tree and made 3. It is. They The players are too good. The equipment's too good. If you get in the wrong golf course, it's no challenge whatsoever.
What was that golf course anyway? I don't know anything about it. I don't like golf courses that have office buildings near it.
Isn't this the tournament that used to be at the Colonial?
I thought so, yeah.
They don't play it.
I'll look it up for you. Are you talking about the TPC
Yeah.
Craig Ranch?
Yeah, what
I'm looking
I
it up.
don't like anything with ranch in
Some
it.
of those TPCs are too easy.
It's a private golf club, gentlemen, located in McKinney, Texas, near Dallas.
Yeah, well, you can have it.
Yes. It was not much of a challenge.
They got office buildings
What did he
near it.
end up winning by 8?
Well, does your paper even have it here?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really don't.
He won by, 8 and 3's 11? 8.
How many scores we got in there?
10.
It ain't what it used to be.
No.
When
St. Paul has them all today.
Everybody who made the cut would be in there.
I think it was one of those ones where there wasn't a cut.
They give the guys so much agate space, a full page today, and if it don't fit.
Pat, I don't think there was a cut in this tournament.
Oh, was it one of the?
I believe it was one of the big ones.
Really?
Well, Byron Nelson, I suppose.
I don't think so. I don't think it was.
Well, then St. Paul paper today printed a lot of names.
Well, yeah, but it's 70-some.
Well, then
That made the cut, probably. I would think it wasn't a designated event. I don't think because they didn't really have a good field, did they?
well, they did. They had Spieth and Scheffler. They didn't have.
According
Rory.
to Google, Joe, yes, there was a cut at TPC Craig Ranch for the CJ Cup Byron Nelson tournament. The cut line was 5 under par.
What's CJ Cup? Is that a business of some kind?
Don't know.
I don't like anything with cup in it.
No, I just don't like office buildings near the course.
You also don't like ranch. You got a problem with the word ranch.
The ranch.
Now Riviera's got.
I know. I didn't like
they
it.
got office buildings next.
No. L.A. Country Club.
L.A. Country Club. That's right.
I didn't like that.
Everybody who's played the L.A. Country Club, though,
Yeah.
Jim Pete, Chad Hartman, those guys.
Yeah, I bet they like
They're
it.
big
huh?
fans of the L.A. Country Club.
I bet it's pretty nice.
Yes, it is.
Hey, buddy, you live around.
Playboy Mansion's on that course.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
One of the corners there that you can get there. You got them.
There were some activities there that probably wouldn't pass muster in the modern times, I would say.
Ooh, I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
Say, Pat, were you surprised the Wild got eliminated?
I was proud of the fellas because we won Game 5. If that moron hadn't gotten 2 feet off or
Right.
6 inches offside, we won that game. So we're up 3-2 and we're coming home. And then at the end, I'm not one to complain about the refs, but you're 1 goal down with 4 minutes to go, and then he trips somebody. This Hannafin tripped somebody right next to the net. You could see it, and the announcers didn't say anything about it. But then he tackled Boldy over on I think it was Boldy over on the boards. I mean, he tackled him. It was a very good tackle, and they weren't going to put Vegas. They weren't going to put the Wild on a power play in the last 4 minutes.
Once I realized that Suter was playing for St. Louis, I couldn't root for Winnipeg hard enough.
Really?
I don't like Suter.
Well, I kind of like Winnipeg.
I do too.
I
Winnipeg tied the game in the last second
Unbelievable.
to send it to overtime, which became 2 overtimes.
You know what Winnipeg had? A lot of idiots standing out in the street for hours
You
and
don't
hours.
like that, do you?
No, I don't.
But I looked it up. It was 82 degrees.
Really? In Winnipeg?
Warmer than here.
Whatever year it was, the Wild went up there to play them in the series. Remember, I drove up for Game 5 or whatever it was. That area is really cool where all the fans were outside standing. That whole area is really
Downtown
neat.
Winnipeg has gone to hell, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At least the parts I was at were pretty cool.
Restaurants and all. I don't,
Okay.
I don't. Well,
Of course, that was 10 years
It's only
ago.
a town of what, like 600,000? Or
It's a
some
government
area.
town.
Yeah, and it's an area of, it's the whole metro area. I think 600,000.
But they love their hockey, man.
Well, hell, the funny thing is, though, 2 years ago, they were good, and their crowds were way down because of prices.
Oh, really?
People were whining about the
Now, they
prices.
play Dallas.
Yeah.
Vegas plays Edmonton.
I like Edmonton, what a comeback! Huh? They lost the first 2 to the Kings, right? And then won 4 straight. And they got Draisaitl and they got McDavid, right?
The Panther play the Leaf tonight.
Don't care. No,
Okay.
I'm neutral. I don't care. No, I'm not neutral. I want the Leaf to win.
I want the Leaf.
I cannot put up with another. Florida has won 4 Stanley Cups, leading Minnesota 4-0.
That's right.
The hockey
It's amazing,
hotbed.
isn't it?
Hockey.
When's the
Yes.
last time Toronto won a cup? Look it up. I'm going to bet
All right.
67.
67.
Dave Keown.
Last time.
Future.
Did you say Toronto or Montreal? Which one?
Toronto.
Okay.
Future
So that would have
Fighting
been the
Saint.
last cup of the 6-team league.
Yeah,
was 67.
Yeah, that's right. Next year they went to 12. And
1966-67 was the last time the Maple Leafs won the cup.
You know, people love to give Bettman a hard time. He's done phenomenal. He's got Vegas. He's got Nashville. He's got
Florida.
Yeah, he's got Vegas, Nashville, and Seattle, and the NBA doesn't have any of them. The NBA died.
Oh, that's true. You're
Any
right.
3 of them. And it's a 32-team league. We go back to when the North Stars were fighting to get in the playoffs, 16 out of 21 teams. You know, it was a joke. And now it's a national sport. It's becoming guys from all over the country are playing in the NHL, and it's.
Do you think the NBA is brave enough to put a team in Vegas?
Oh, they supposedly want like $5 billion or something. Nobody will pay that much, but I don't know. Yeah, they're going to put one in there.
Maybe your guy Bezos, didn't he just sell a bunch of Amazon stock today?
I have no
I
idea.
thought I read that this morning.
Yeah.
He sold about $7 billion in stock.
Probably need a little pocket money.
It
They don't walk it around, buddy.
didn't take him long to choke on the Trump thing, though, when he was going to put how much the tariff cost.
I was hoping he would do that.
Yes, I just to agitate, but he don't want to agitate. So,
'Cause I got to run out to these
Is there
Amazon.
a new Mrs. Bezos? Did he get a divorce or something?
No, they haven't been married yet.
Oh, really?
They're going to have a big to-do.
I would
Yeah.
guess so. Yeah, I mean he's as you say, $1 billion ain't what it used to be.
No.
$1 billion ain't what it used to be. That's for sure. I don't know. It does take a little of the spunk out of me, these series, when they start so damn late.
Yeah, I can't. I made it for Winnipeg, though, and I don't know why I got invested in that game, but I did.
St. Louis is what, they won their last 14 home games or something before they got beat the other night.
What are they going to have to pay
Oh wait, no,
Kaprizov?
that series was all home teams, right?
Yeah.
That's Winnipeg and
What
St. Louis.
What are they going to have to pay Kaprizov?
Everybody figured he's making 9. Everybody figures about 5 more, 14.
Yeah.
14 for a 5-year deal. Then
I got
they,
news for them. They have to.
well, I don't know. I think we should send them all back till the war's over, but that's just me. I think I'm in a minority opinion among hockey followers. But,
You know, what if that could end the war?
yeah, maybe.
What kind of pressure would there be?
Yeah, but he's promised to end the war for 3 days so he can have a parade. Then he's going to start killing babies.
You know, I got to
again.
tell you, I don't like the parade idea.
You know what I said today earlier? If Putin went to college in this country, he would have went to Duke. That's what I...
That's the worst thing you can say about it.
That's right. He would have went to Duke.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous about this parade because what if the troops have to turn as they pass
Yeah,
him,
go.
like in North Korea?
Yeah, go like
I
this.
don't like the idea.
No, especially a guy who didn't serve. But he
Eisenhower
went-
never wanted a parade. He said we shouldn't have parades in this country.
No, and we say we want to do it because he was in France when they had their parade, right? The victory parade. But really, it's because he sees the Russian parade. That's why he does it, with their big.
Well, plus
parade.
it's his birthday, and he thinks it'll be for him.
Yes, the parade used to be May Day, though, in Russia. Now it's like May 8th or something like that. I don't know.
Are we going to really haul giant missiles down Penn Avenue?
I don't know.
Pennsylvania Avenue.
All right. I'm not a fan of him, but he's insane. Okay, can we agree on that? He's insane. Mm-hmm. The Alcatraz was the idiocy too far for me. That was, I've put up with a guy. Most of it is based on how he thinks the world should be, but this was because he watched a movie and he wants Alcatraz back because he thinks it's just like it was when we left it. The reason they left it in 1953 is because it was falling apart.
Yeah. What does he envision there? Resident? No, he envisions a prison again, I think.
Yeah, he wants
gold-plated bars, things like that.
He wants that's where,
Send
maybe
really
the idea
bad guys.
is we won't put any money into it. We'll just let the immigrants hang out.
Joe, you missed it in the changeover between Garage Logic and Monday Night Sports Talk. Pat brought that up, very ready to be worked up, and Kenny responded with, "Yeah, isn't that a hoot?"
Well, if you can look at him as hilarious,
Which Kenny does.
Yeah, because he's just crazy. It's the first thing I do when I wake up early in the morning at 5:30 usually is I look at the AP wire to see what might have happened on Truth Social overnight, to see what he might have went off on. Every time, like all of us old guys, every time he gets up to pee at 3 in the morning, he goes on something about.
Would you admit, though, he's the most transparent president in your lifetime?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
I mean, he'll tell you anything.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah, well, yeah. But do you believe in due process? I'm not too sure.
I don't know if I have to do that or not.
I did do this, raise the hand twice and say that I would do it, but I don't know if I got to do that or not. And now, as I said earlier, we're offering immigrants a lousy $1,000 to rat themselves out,
What do you mean? I don't know that one.
No, today the U.S. will give an immigrant a undocumented U.S. Person in the U.S. $1,000 if they just leave.
Oh,
if they rat themselves out and leave.
We're going to pay him now.
But $1,000. That's not much, right? You can't get a plane ticket to Venezuela for less than $700, so you don't have much left. He doesn't like Venezuelan, which made me happy that the jockey who won the Kentucky Derby was a Venezuelan. So Alvarado. So
well,
did
Patrick,
you ever go to the Derby? You went to the Derby. Which one? Who won?
Affirmed.
Oh man, what a horse! Triple Crown winner.
Yep. It was a hell of an event to cover.
Oh, it was. It's fantastic, especially when you get to hang out with Bobby the night before.
And I went back and
your dear friend.
Yes.
Your dear friend.
I got to go back to where the barns were and watch a few day before.
Yep. There's some good looking horses, man.
Well, it's a good looking crowd that eventually shows up.
Mm-hmm.
But the infield is full of overserved college kids.
Yes, and now and this year, of course, they all got wet too, so which made it bad. Well, the favorite our horse Sandman, who was bred the breeding arrangements were made by a Minnesota guy. He didn't run a step. He was the second favorite, I think, but he could not handle the mud, obviously.
Ooh.
He's kind of a late runner, and the late runners get all that mud kicked in their face, and sometimes they just say, to hell with it, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to run. So that was but it was a good finish, that's for sure. Journalism, once again, finished second.
Second place.
Yes, right.
That was who I was rooting for.
Yes, sure. Somebody must have been interested in newspapering or something. They had journalism and publisher. There was a horse named Publisher in the field, too.
If you were a billionaire, you could pick your hobby. You can own a newspaper or own a sports team. Or I think having a horse in the Derby would be pretty fun.
Yeah. But the guy in Minnesota that finally had one, he died 2 years ago.
The horse?
But the guy. Lothamer or something.
I don't know.
But he had spent $300 million in the horse business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, she can be a spendy. Expend,
she was.
yeah.
They never stop eating.
Nope.
You got to feed them.
And vet bills are not cheap.
No, that's true.
And they can eat too much, and then they get a
got
problem. They get bloated.
Yes, they're very sensitive animals, and they weigh 1,500 pounds, and they got skinny legs.
Little teeny feet.
Yeah, that's why they break them.
You got to read that book I told you about. You're
going to
learn
horse.
By Geraldine Brooks.
Got it written down.
Oh, it's a wonderful novel.
I need something to read at night.
Well, this will do it. This will do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
You better sell it, Carr.
Oh, wait. Before we go, I brought this up on Friday when your appearance in Garage Logic about the Colorado Rockies.
Yes.
And they did lose all 3 games over the weekend.
Yes, they had won 2 in a row, though. Very disappointing.
6-28. And
6-28.
Emailer Gene said, Reeves, you are right. They're on pace to break last year's record by the Chicago White Sox of 41 wins.
And they're in the best division in baseball by 1,000 degrees. So, their attendance out there has always been fairly good, but not this year. Then nobody can go to a game this year. When do we play them? I think it'll be a battle.
It's going to be tough to make an excuse, though, to stay away from the ballpark in this 6-game home series, given the weather forecast.
Oh, it's going to be perfect.
Yes. Just perfect.
That's right.
Yeah, Baltimore tomorrow.
It could be a kickoff of a dry, wonderful, drought-filled spring.
You're pro-drought.
Yeah, I know. He's always been pro. I'm not pro-drought.
Yeah. We got last time we had the drought and they were whining, then we got like 80 inches of snow and the rivers all filled up again and stuff,
Well, it always balances out.
Yes.
But it's tough when you're enduring it.
And if it would rain from 2 to 5 in the morning, I wouldn't mind that. But, anyway.
You don't even play golf anymore.
No, I don't. Thank God for America. Unbelievable. I saw a person, an aged person riding a bike around the block today. Right? I'm wondering if I could do that. I think I'd kill myself.
I'm going to take up bike riding.
Electric, yeah. I got that. We got the grandson on an electric bike. They never see him again. Yeah. He's just like he and his gang of thieves.
My fear for you would be you'd get going too fast, and you might not, how to rein her in.
Yes. Plus, climbing on it with my dexterity, I'd have to get one like this. I'd have to get one like a toddlers use, Just pedal like a son of a gun,
Ricey here for EcoFun Motorsports.
I'd send you out to EcoFun, man. You'd leave there with a good electric bike.
Oh,
they get
shorties?
the right seat.
They got any shorties?
The Kaylin's she's the electric bike queen of the United States.
So they got a bike for fat ass with bad knees. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the electric part takes care of the knees, and don't settle for the seat unless you like the seat. Get a different seat.
Get a seat like this.
I need a wide one.
Big saddle, like a tractor seat.
I'm going to go out there.
Yes.
All right. I bet you're killing it there with these ads for
They're selling some bikes.
They do.
Yeah, good. Should I sell a car?
Yeah, let's sell a car.
These are Buick dealers. Buick. If you've been watching sports, they've been showing those SUVs on a lot of ads on various sports leagues. Fantastic looking machines. Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers out in Apple Valley has a wonderful inventory of SUVs, both 2024s and 2025s, brand new ones. Just go out there and check them out. And here's the deal. They have a great experienced people in the financial area that'll take care of you. They have great salespeople who will get you into the vehicle you want. Also, great used car stock out there. But the new SUVs are the way to go. And Buick has various varieties of those. And they have low interest rates right now, very low interest rates, and good factory rebates. So Jim Paul and Brett Paul, Valley Group of GM dealers, Buick SUVs, they're the thing to get right now out in Apple Valley.